Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd post my spirit washing. Haven't done that in a while. We wash our spirit before we even wash our face, so that's why my hair's a mess. And yeah, I just woke up. So anyway, my Bible study group has us considering Luke verses 1 to 55, and I was pondering that, and I was thinking about how Elizabeth's righteousness did not cause her to be with child. She was elderly when she became pregnant with John the Baptist. And I can just imagine how discouraged she would have been, just feeling like God had somehow abandoned her and not answered her prayers. All those times she would have begged him for a child. But still, they were elderly, and her husband Zechariah, they honored God with their conduct. And I think that they were an approved vessel for the birth of the one who would have the Holy Spirit, the power of Elijah. Holy Spirit, we have this. And I was thinking about, am I walking in this similar power? Because since Pentecost, when we believe Jesus, we're filled with the Holy Spirit. And what are we doing with that? So even though Zechariah was righteous, he had doubt about God's power over his life and God's ability to do his miracle. When the angel Gabriel came to him, he said, "How do I know that this is actually going to happen?" Basically paraphrasing. And he was struck dumb. He couldn't speak for the entire time that Elizabeth was pregnant, and just shortly after the birth of John, when they were going to name him, because he listened to Holy Spirit, listened to God, and named the baby John. He was given his voice back, and people were like, "Wow, that's a miracle." Anyway, I was thinking about why Zechariah, he was in the Holy of Holies, like he was a high priest, and he was doubting. He was looking at the angel Gabriel, and he was doubting if God would make Elizabeth pregnant, because in the natural, we do that, right? We doubt. I was thinking about how I pray prayers, bold prayers of faith, and deep down, I doubt. I'm like, okay, Lord, like, are you going to do this? Is there going to be a miracle? Are they going to be healed? What is going to happen? But we have to realize that in the midst of our prayers, like with Elizabeth's prayer, her womb was kind of being reserved for John the Baptist. And sometimes God's purpose is way beyond what we could think of or imagine. So this is what I was thinking about as I was reading this. And I think Elizabeth saw her barrenness as a disgrace instead of how it was, God reserving her womb. But Mary's response to God was totally opposite of the high priest, Zechariah. Mary's like, "I am the Lord's servant." She was willing to be shamed. Like, imagine just being pregnant without being married in that time, in that day and age. She was willing to be shamed in society for God, and she trusted the Lord. A contrast to the high priest who doubted God. And perhaps I was thinking maybe that's due to her youth, or, how we go through life and we have disappointing experiences where we ask God for his intervention. And when it seems to be silent, when God seems to be silent, then the seeds of doubt are planted, and we don't realize that he is sovereign. He created the universe. He can do anything. I mean, come on. Think about the universe. Like, of course he can do anything. Just being in the presence of Mary, Elizabeth got filled with the Holy Spirit after John leapt from within her. So I was thinking about how that must have felt to Elizabeth, just to be filled with the mighty power of Holy Spirit, like unbelievable. And I just thought, yes, Mary was blessed because she believed what the Lord would do. And this is what Elizabeth declared. And it was only days. Essentially, John leapt in the womb and declared the coming Lord. And I can't even imagine how that would have felt to be Elizabeth. Anyway, have a blessed day. That's my ponderings about the book of Luke, verses 1 to 56. And I see here that Mary stayed with Elizabeth about 3 months and then went back to her own home. So I could just imagine what they were talking about. She stayed with Elizabeth, and then all of a sudden she started showing. 3 months. She would have started really feeling the pregnancy, and then she left. So likely they ministered to each other, and because Elizabeth's home was a very righteous place. Anyway, have a good day.